Fredericks Media Network and the John Fredericks radio apps, and I am your Godzilla. Of the Truth in America, I just heard both sides. We played that, cold open, Mark Warner, Moron Mountain. What exactly are you going to do, Senator? Like, what would you do? Send him another $1.7 billion in pallets? Because you were for that. Like, what exactly are you going to do? At least Lindsey Graham spelled it out. What is your solution to this? Of course, you have none. The Democrats, I'm telling you, folks, are boxed in. You've got to break through the fake news who are going to say that this is going to cost Trump the midterms. It's going to be the end of his presidency. It's going to be a quagmire. Thousands of people will die. It's a 24-year war, etc. And you're going to have to deal with all the never-Trumpers on the Republican side, whether they're the Marjorie Taylor Greenes or the clickbaiters or Candace Owens or Megyn Kelly or Steve Bannon or whoever else is out there. Tucker Carlson, you have to deal with them. Or you're even going to have to deal with the neocons that hate Trump, like Bolton and Max Boot, who are also criticizing him. It is just empty air. That's all it is. The Democrats, folks, this show is Truth and Clarity. We're the voice of the people. There's an accountability here to the truth. And we're going to bring it every day during this conflict, right here in Washington, D.C. No bus tours for a while. We're planning one, but not till this thing is resolved. Now, let's think this through. The Democrats have completely boxed themselves in. They're basically defending the Iranian regime, calling Khomeini a poet. They have nowhere to go with this. Now, let me tell you what the end game is here. Lay it out for you, if I may. Indulge me. We'll indulge each other. Let me tell you what the end game is. Iran becomes irrelevant, regardless of who is running the country. That is going to be up to the Iranian people. Would we like to see them overthrow the theocratic, autocratic, murderous, bloodthirsty Ayatollah regimes? Sure. But this is going to be up to the Iranian people. This is not up to us. It's up to them. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep killing them. Every time they get a new leader, that new leader is going to be dead. The killing will continue for, like Trump said, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. You anoint a new leader, leader's dead. You go out in your car, he's dead. We're going to keep killing the leaders until finally they get to the bottom of the barrel. That's number one. The goal here is to defang Iran. Starve them out so they can't be sending money to Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas, and their other proxies. Simple. And you want to control the oil. This is an oil play. You control the oil. Right now, you control the world. You control the globe. Once you control the oil and you control the Hormuz Strait, which is coming, that's next. It is a matter of days or weeks before we completely control that strait, where the Iranians are not going to be able to shut it down because they will have, Mark Warner, no Navy. I mean, get up and smell the coffee. This is about oil and cutting it off. No more oil to China. No more oil to Russia. No more oil anywhere. We'll simply blockade them, just like we did in Venezuela. There's no way out. We have the largest navy in the history of the globe assembled in the Persian Gulf and around the Mediterranean. We don't want an oil tanker to get out of there. It ain't getting out, or we'll sink it. The threat of the Iranian regime has come to a close. It doesn't matter who is in the government. It doesn't matter if the bureaucracy is there. It doesn't matter what commander is still slithering around in some tunnel or some spider cave. It's irrelevant. I hope the Iranian people make the right decision and take it over. We ought to be airlifting in guns for them. I'm for that. We got plenty of them around here. Airlift them in, but it's up to them. We're not going to be part of picking a government. just like we didn't do in Venezuela. Now, you can't have a puppet government like we have in Venezuela. And let me explain the difference. In Venezuela, which is Latin America, these are not religious fanatics. These are communists that want control and they want to live. They're not looking to go to the 107 virgins or whatever those nutballs think. They're religious fanatics. That's not what you got in Latin America. That's not what you have in Cuba or Venezuela or any of these states. You've got communists, socialists that want control of the government and they would like to stay alive. So basically, their vice president, Delancho, whatever her name is, somebody text me her name, whatever her name is, she's president. But she's a puppet. We have installed in Venezuela, understand, a puppet government. It's a puppet government. She does exactly what we say. She does exactly what Trump says, or Trump kills her. I want to say this again. She does exactly what President Trump says, or President Trump will incinerate her like he did the Cuban guards and carry them out in cardboard boxes. She will be incinerated. They planned this. That's why they sent her to vacation in an island when they took out Maduro. So if she would like to live, she will continue to do exactly what President Trump tells her to do. And if she doesn't, she's a dead woman. He will kill her. This is not the same thing you've got in Iran. You can't have a puppet government in Iran with religious fanatics and a Persian nation that has been there for 5,000 years. You simply can't do that. But what you can do is simply render them irrelevant and incompetent and inconsequential. That's what this is about. And this is what the imbecile Democrats who hate Trump so much cannot figure out. A safer world without them getting bombs and missiles and whatever else they're trying to do. That's over. Once we cut their oil off, they don't have any money for any of this. What do you think happens to the Houthis? They dry up. Hamas dries up. Hezbollah dries up. They're all being funded by Iran. It all dries up. Iran's got the oil. They don't. Once you cut this off, once you cut their funding off, they're done. They're done with the proxies. The Syrian leader, same thing. You think he's not watching what's going on here? One wrong move, dude, you're next. I mean, we're done with this. We have been dorking around with these people for 50 years. I don't know how you get more MAGA than this. I'm so sick of Green and these people saying, oh my God, this is not what we voted for. This is what I voted for. What did you vote for? Iran getting nuclear weapons? Giving them another $1.7 billion of our money in pallets? I guess we ran out because we had to give it to the Somalians in Minnesota. They got $20 billion. They made a lot better. Bottom line here is, this is about debasing Iran so it becomes irrelevant. The government is none of my concern. I don't care what they do. I hope they change it for their own sake of their own people. But that is their business. But there ain't going to be no oil ship. There's not going to be no closing the Straits of Hormuz. None of that is going to happen. They will be neutralized to basically a kitten trying to get a bowl of milk to not starve. That's what they're reduced to when this is over. And if they want to go kill their own people in an uprising, I'm sure we'll deal with that when it comes. But this is up to the Iranian people to decide how they want to be governed. They got an opportunity, like President Trump said, but it's up to them. I really don't get up every day worried about who's going to be running Iran. That's their problem. I got my own problems, and so do you. And so does this country. But I am concerned about cells, terrorism, nuclear bombs, ballistic missiles. Yeah, I'm concerned about that hitting our shores. And like Graham said, and look, I don't always agree with Graham on everything. I agree with him here. You think if they didn't have this stuff, you think for 1 minute they would hesitate in using it against us? Of course they would. Oh, you can't get more America first than protecting your own citizens. That's the essence of America first, Marjorie Taylor Nitwit Green. What the hell are you talking about? You expose your ass every day. So do all the other clickbaiters. All of them. So bottom line here is this president acted after 50 years and no one else would. And he's now, when this is said and done, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 weeks, I don't know when, they will have zero ability to do anything. And their oil will be cut off, which has been funding all of these proxies, including China, including Russia. Now they're looking at this. They are in a dead panic. What are they going to do? This road and belt and road. That's all ending now. All of this is coming to a close. Trump did it. Trump did the whole thing because he had the balls to do it. And look, he's taking a risk. Of course, there's a consequence with any risk you take. Any risk has a consequence to it. Things don't go well. But you got to have the balls to do it. Bill Clinton had the opportunity to take out Osama bin Laden. They called him up. They got him on a bat phone. They had him in his sights. He didn't do it. He blinked. And 5,000 people are dead as a result of that. He blinked. Trump didn't blink. I'm not criticizing Clinton, but it takes balls to make these decisions. It's not easy. Clinton was, well, if we do that, it could start a conflict, and then I'm running for re-election. And, I don't know what intel he had. I'm not going to criticize President Clinton for that decision. I'm just saying that he had it and he didn't make it. He had it, he didn't make it. Trump had it, he made it. Difference in persona, difference in vision, difference in command and control. Difference in long-term picture and difference in balls. That's the bottom line of this thing. And the world is going to be a better place, which means that we are going to be in a better place. Just like Washington, D.C. is in a better place with our National Guard. Simple as that. Well, there's a lot going on here that we don't have to unpack it. I don't have to sit there and unpack 18 things. And nobody's going to tell you this but me. This is about cutting off oil, their proxies, their money, and their ability to do anything that would put anybody at risk. They basically become a non-entity state. And he will continue to kill the leaders, which is brilliant. You want to be the leader? Thanks. Next day, oh, he's dead. Next up, oh, he's dead. He's dead too. Whack-a-mole. They're all dead. Hey, Mrs. President in Venezuela, you see that? Here's what you need to do Monday. Send me an email after it's done. Give me an update. Because you know what? You're next. That's the message. The hell's wrong with that? Either we believe this stuff or we don't. Either we fight or we don't. Either we stand up for ourselves or we don't. It's like what's going on in Texas. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. We got a lot to go over today. But I think this is one of the most brilliant military strategic moves that's been made. And Cuba's next. And I said this in July. I said, before we get to the midterms, Venezuela gone, Cuba gone, their governments, Iran gone. I said that, 60 days ago. Before we get to the midterms, in the summer, they're all gone. Cuba is next. You think they're not watching this? You kidding me? We're done with this. We're done giving these people money so they can kill us or enslave people or kill 30,000 people in an uprising, which I'm sure they do again if Iran had the opportunity. If there was massive protest, they'd gun them down again. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. And they sit there and say, well, it doesn't affect us. Yeah, it affects us. We don't know how many cells are here. We don't know what they've done. We don't know what havoc Biden has led in this country. We're going to find out, and we're going to get rid of them once and for all. Do you understand this, that Trump's playing for keeps here? They say, oh, there's no end game. Yeah, the end game is Iran is irrelevant, imbecile. That's the end game. Because as plain as the big nose on your ugly face, Mark.